I opened every window in the place and let the outside pour into the space. They have been holding on to something old, a heaviness that never quite was told in words but lived in corners and in light that hadn't changed its angle in a night. A month or more I stopped noticing when the air had last been fully freshening. Something shifted when the breeze came in, moved the curtains, moved the dust and sin of everything I let accumulate. Clear the air before it gets too late. Clear the air, let something new come in. Clear the air and feel where to begin again without the weight of what was here. Clear the air until the room is clear. Every corner, every shelf, every door. Clear the air, make room for something more. The heaviness was never meant to stay. Clear the air and watch it drift away.
I took the photographs down from the wall, not out of anger, not because the fall of what we were deserved to be erased, but because the space they held was now misplaced.
On this version of myself I'm choosing, and everything I'm done with slowly losing its grip on how the morning light arrives. Clear the air is how a room survives. Some clutter lives in feelings, not in things, in the unsaid and the unfinished things of conversations that concluded wrong. Clear the air before it takes too long. Clear the air, let something new come in. Clear the air and feel where to begin again without the weight of what was here. Clear the air until the room is clear. Every corner, every shelf, every door. Clear the air, make room for something more. The heaviness was never meant to stay. Clear the air and watch it drift away. Until the window opened and I felt the difference in the air, the cards I dealt. Clear the air, let something new come in. Clear the air and feel where to begin again without the weight of what was here. Clear the air until the room is clear. Every corner, every shelf, every door. Clear the air, make room for something more. The heaviness was never meant to stay. Clear the air and watch it drift away. So I stand here in the freshly open space and feel the air rearrange the room's face. Clear the air is where the new life starts. Clear the air and open up your heart. I used to think that love meant earning it, that every good thing came with needing to submit to someone else's version of my word. I've been rehearsing that since before my birth, into the rooms where love arrived with cause. But getting close meant something always lost, and so I learned to brace before the good, expecting pain to follow like it should. But something in me finally racing high to make myself so small. A different kind of love exists at all. A different kind of love doesn't come with fear. A different kind of love doesn't disappear when you stop performing and the room goes still. A different kind of love is with you still. Not the love that tests you, not the love that takes, not the one that leaves you cleaning up its wakes. A different kind of love arrives and stays. A different kind of love change all my days.
At first I didn't trust the quietness of it, but the absence of the chaos I would fit my body into like a familiar code, even when it scratched me by the throat. But this one didn't ask me to be less or translate my emotions to a guess. It simply sat beside me in the real.
A different kind of love is what I feel.
And learning to receive it took more work than any of the painful ones that lurk in the history I carried to the door. A different kind of love has something more of me than giving.
A different kind of love doesn't come with fear. A different kind of love doesn't disappear when you stop performing and the room goes still. A different kind of love is with you still. Not the love that tests you, not the love that takes, not the one that leaves you cleaning up its wakes. A different kind of love arrives and stays. A different kind of love changed all my days.
I had to learn to
let it land without preparing for the moment it worked out. Be into smallness like the ones before. A different kind of love unlock the door. A different kind of love doesn't come with fear. A different kind of love doesn't disappear when you stop performing and the room is still. A different kind of love is with you still. Not the love that tests you, not the love that takes, not the one that leaves you cleaning up its wakes. A different kind of love arrives and stays. A different kind of love changed all my days. So I stay inside this love without the brace and let it find the most unguarded place. A different kind of love was always there, waiting for the day I chose today. To want it. She spent so long preparing for the day when someone else would come and choose to stay. She learned to walk in heels and smile just right, and practice being lovely in the light. But somewhere in the mirror late one night, she saw a woman worthy of the white, not waiting to be chosen, not on hold. The bride inside had always been so bold. She didn't need an aisle to walk with grace, didn't need an audience to take her place among the ones who know their worth. Instead, the bride inside reached out her own hand. The bride inside has been here all along, dressed in her own, knowing, wearing her own strong. She doesn't need a witness or a ring to feel the beauty of the life she's living. Something shifted when she stopped away and opened up her own most sacred gate. The bride inside walked toward herself that day, and nothing in her world looked quite the same. She picked the flowers that she loved the most, not for a ceremony or a toast, but for for the simple joy of their perfume. She filled with color her most ordinary room. She made a vow to show up for herself, to take her own heart down from the high shelf where she had placed it carefully and wait. The bride inside decided not to hesitate, to love yourself the way you'd love another, with all the tenderness you'd give a lover, is the most courageous walk you'll ever take. The bride inside does it for her own sake. The bride inside has been here all along, dressed in her own knowing, wearing her own strong. She doesn't need a witness or a ring to feel the beauty of the life she's living. Something shifted when she stopped away and opened up her own most sacred gate. The bride inside walked toward herself that day, and nothing in her world looked quite the same. Every woman carries her within, the part that knows exactly where to begin. With love that turns back inward and stays true, the bride inside is waiting inside you. The bride inside has been here all along, dressed in her own knowing, wearing her own strong. She doesn't need a witness or a ring to feel the beauty of the life she's living. Something shifted when she stopped away and opened up her own most sacred gate. The bride inside walked toward herself that day, and nothing in her world looked quite the same. So walk toward yourself with flowers in your hand. The only vow you need is your stand, to cherish and to honor what you are. The bride inside has always been your star. I don't know which cafe takes the kind of card I carry, or which corner hits the heart. Edge of wind in winter, or which way the light falls in the late part of the day.
I don't know anyone who waves from doors, or which days bring the market to the floor of this unfamiliar, beautiful of mine. New street, I'm learning one step at a time.
There's a grief in leaving what you knew. The body misses what the mind said through was necessary change, and so it mourns the familiar even when the familiar burns. Unfamiliar street beneath my feet, unfamiliar faces I one day meet, like old friends that I simply haven't yet. Unfamiliar street, I don't regret the leaving, though it cost me what it did. Unfamiliar street is where I live now, and the unknown is wide in mind. Unfamiliar
the whole length of it end to end, and noted every bakery, every bend, the bookshop with the handwritten display, the elderly man who walks the same each day at the same hour with the same small dog. I filed them all away inside the log of a life that I am slowly making here. Unfamiliar street becoming dear. Belonging isn't given, it is built corner by corner without guilt of leaving what you left to get to this. Unfamiliar street is not what's missed, it's what's becoming. Unfamiliar street beneath my feet, unfamiliar faces I one day meet, like old friends that I simply haven't yet. Unfamiliar street, I don't regret the leaving, though it cost me what it did. Unfamiliar street is where I live now, and the unknown is wide in mine. Unfamiliar street in its own time. One morning I will wake and know the way, without the map, without the long delay of figuring out what I already know. Unfamiliar street becoming home below. Unfamiliar street beneath my feet, yeah. Unfamiliar faces I one day meet, like old friends that I simply haven't yet. Unfamiliar street, I don't regret the leaving, though it cost me what it did. Unfamiliar street is where I live now, and the unknown is wide in mine. Unfamiliar street in its own time. So I walk it slowly, learning as I go, every detail that will one day simply flow into the known, the easy and the mind. Unfamiliar street just needs a little time. I saw it clearly for the very first time. The same face in a different face, the same line, delivered slightly differently, but still the same essential person with the skill of making me feel chosen and invisible. The pattern was so obvious, so kissable. In this familiarity I almost missed that I had been here every time I'd kissed. Not their fault entirely, not mine alone, but I kept building the same kind of home with the same kind of hands that couldn't hold. Breaking the pattern starts with being told the truth by your own eyes. Breaking the pattern is the hardest love. Breaking the pattern means you've had enough of the story you keep telling as your own. Breaking the pattern means you're finally grown into the knowing of what pulls you back into the arms that always leave a crack in everything you've tried to make complete. Breaking the pattern starts beneath your feet. I made a list of every common thread, the things they said, the ways they left me fed on crumbs of affection between the cold. A warmth without a story I was told about my word that I kept choosing to believe because it felt familiar to the very first voice that taught me what love was. Breaking the pattern starts with knowing because the pattern isn't punishment or fate. It's just a road the heart learned to navigate before it knew that other roads exist. Breaking the pattern is the thing I missed for so long. Breaking the pattern is the hardest love. Breaking the pattern means you've had enough of the story you keep telling as your own. Breaking the pattern means you're finally grown into the knowing of what pulls you back into the arms that always leave a crack in everything you try to make complete. Breaking the pattern starts beneath your feet.
because it was, but because so long had I confused the familiar with the right. Breaking the pattern is the bravest fight. Breaking the pattern is the hardest love. Breaking the pattern means you've had enough of the story you keep telling as your own. Breaking the pattern means you're finally grown into the knowing of what pulls you back into the arms that always leave a crack in everything you tried to make complete. Breaking the pattern starts beneath your feet. So I stand here at the edge of something new. Someone who doesn't feel like what I knew. Breathe through the discomfort of the strain. Breaking the pattern is the deepest change. I never learned the words that others use, the formal kind of prayer with all its cues. When I sit down at the keys alone, something sacred happens in the tone. When the brush meets canvas, something shifts. When the pen finds paper, something lifts beyond the ordinary into it. But making becomes its own kind of prayer. Not on my knees, but at my instrument. Not in a church, but where the hours were. Into something made from what I feel. Art is how I know that God is real. Art is how I pray, every note an offering. Art is how I pray, every line a reckoning with everything I cannot say out loud. Art is how I speak beneath the cloud of ordinary life and ordinary days. Art is how I find a sacred space between the making and the made and gone. Art is how I pray, and I pray on and on. The song I make at 3 a.m. alone is more a prayer than any I have known in any house of worship or of stone. It comes from somewhere deeper than the bone, and when I share it, something is exchanged between the listener and the arranged. Notes that hold the prayers I couldn't speak. Art is how the soul finds what it seeks. On this most blessed day of art and sound, I lay my offering down upon the ground. Each song a candle lit for something more. Art is how I knock upon the sacred door. Art is how I every note an offering. Art is how I pray, every line a reckoning with everything I cannot say out loud. Art is how I speak beneath the cloud of ordinary life and ordinary days. Art is how I find a sacred space between the making and the made and gone. Art is how I pray, and I pray on and on. The act of making is the act of trust that what I give the world is what I must. The prayer inside the art needs no translation. Creating is the highest form of station. Art is how I pray, every note an offering. song I make becomes a prayer center. Every note a drop inside the sacred cup. Art is how I pray, and prayer is how I live. I stood at the edge for longer than I'll say, and talked myself into and out each day of taking it the step that had no floor, no guarantee of what was held in store. I did the math 1,000 different ways, and every calculation said to stay. But math has never built a life worth living. The leap is asking, not receiving, giving. There is no perfect moment for this thing. No alignment of the stars, no sign to bring the certainty I kept on waiting for. The leap is walking through without the door. The leap is not the landing, it's the air. The leap is not the knowing, it's the dare to step up something solid into trust. The leap is not a want, it is a must. When everything inside you says it's time, and every reason not to starts to rhyme. When fear dressed up as wisdom, dressed as sense. The leap is through the reasonable fence.
I called my fear by name before I went, and said I see you and I know you meant to keep me safe, and I am grateful. But the door I need to walk through must be shut behind me now, and so I stepped and fell, not down but forward into something well beyond the coordinates I'd always known.
The leap is how the truest life is grown. Mid-air is terrifying and alive, the only place where some things can survive that couldn't breathe inside the safe and still. The leap is the most necessary skill. The leap is not the landing, it's the air. The leap is not the knowing, it's the dare to step up something solid into trust. The leap is not a want, it is a must. When everything inside you says it's time, and every reason not to starts to rhyme. With fear dressed up as wisdom, dressed as sense. The leap is through the reasonable fence. Chose the forward over safe instead. The ground below was real, but so was I. The leap is how you learn to own the sky. The leap is not the landing, it's the air. The leap is not the knowing, it's the dare to step off something solid into trust. The leap is not a want, it is a must. When everything inside you says it's time, and every reason not to starts to rhyme. When fear dressed up as wisdom, dressed as sense. The leap is through the reasonable fence. So here I am inside the fallen vine. The leap was always going to be mine. Not reckless, not without the counted cost. The leap is everything I would have left. It's the air, it's the rebellion, it's the dare. Stepping down solid into trust. The leap is not a want, it is a must. When everything inside you says it's time, and every reason not to starts to rhyme. With fear dressed up as wisdom, dressed as sense. The leap is through the reason of the fence. So here I am inside the falling fire. The leap was always going to be mine. Not reckless, not without the counted Lost to leave is everything I would have lost by staying.
We spread the map across the kitchen floor and argue gently over every shore. You wanted mountains, I was for the sea, but what we both agreed on was the we.
The destination mattered so much less than who was in the car, and I confess I'd follow you to somewhere I can't spell. Anywhere with me means anywhere as well.
I've lived in places beautiful and gray,
and learned that what makes somewhere worth a stay
was never in the postcode or the view.
Anywhere with me meant anywhere with you. Anywhere with me is home enough. Anywhere with me through the smooth and rough of roads we haven't driven yet, in towns we haven't learned the rhythm of the sounds. Anywhere with me the lost is fine, because the compass is your hand in mine. I don't need a destination to arrive. Anywhere with me is how we thrive. Pulled up to a town we never heard, and like the look of nothing but a word on the sign, and so we stayed the night and found the kind of ordinary ride that doesn't advertise itself to those who only go to places someone knows
about already. We just followed through.
Anywhere with me was always someone new.
Some people need to plan a certain ground,
the knowledge of the place before it's found.
but we have always moved on, something felt.
Anywhere with me the hand we're dead. Anywhere with me is home enough. Anywhere with me through the smooth and rough of roads we haven't driven yet, in towns we haven't learned the rhythm of the sounds. Anywhere with me the lost is fine, because the compass is your hand in mine. I don't need a destination to arrive. Anywhere with me is how we thrive. The place was never what we came to find. It was the version of each other's mind that only travel in the open road. Anywhere with me could ever show. Anywhere with me is home enough. Anywhere with me through the smooth and rough of roads we haven't driven yet, in towns we haven't learned the rhythm of the sounds.
Anywhere with me the lost is fine, because the compass is your hand in mine.
I don't need a destination to arrive. Anywhere with me is how we thrive.
So fold the map and put it in the bag,
And let the road decide where we are at.
anywhere with me is where I wanna be.
Anywhere with me,
You are my home.
Anywhere with me is finally free. The snake doesn't want the skin she leaves. She simply moves beyond what no longer breathes. With her and finds a newer version waiting underneath the old without the hating or the ceremony or I've been holding mine too tightly past the time. Shedding season is the most natural climb. Everything that grows must learn to shed. The tree lets go of every leaf instead of holding on through winter to its green. Shedding season is the bravest thing. Shedding season, I am letting go of the version of myself I used to know. She served me well, but now the fit is wrong. Shedding season is how I grow strong. Not by adding more to what I carry, but by releasing what has grown contrary to who I'm becoming underneath. Shedding season helped me find relief.
I notice it in how the old words feel, like borrowed clothes and never quite reveal the body that has changed beneath the seam of who I was and who I'm trying to be. The humor that I used to use for cover, the smallness I perform for every other person in the room feels out of date. Shedding season came and couldn't wait.
Some seasons ask for nothing but release, a willingness to let the old find peace in being what it was and nothing more. Shedding season opens every door. Shedding season, I am letting go of the version of myself I used to know. She served me well, but now the fit is wrong. Shedding season is how I grow strong. Not by adding more to what I carried, but by releasing what has grown contrary to who I'm becoming underneath. Shedding season helped me find relief. The proof of what the growing costs and what it gives in return for the release. Shedding season brings the deepest peace. Shedding season, I am letting go of the version of myself I used to know. She served me well, but now the fit is wrong. Shedding season is how I grow strong. Not by adding more to what I carry, but by releasing what has grown contrary to who I'm becoming underneath. Shedding season helped me find relief. So I step out of the skin that kept me small and feel the air on everything and at all. The tender knew and unprotected me. Shedding season finally setting free. Gray curtains hanging heavy over the street. Countless teardrops falling down to my feet. Locked inside a silent room with my fears, washing away the memories of recent years. But every storm eventually runs out of breath, looking for something to break through this day. The thick clouds begin to drift apart on high. A golden promise is whispering in the sky. Feel the temperature rising slow, ready to let all the shadows go. The first sunny hour is finally here, melting the coldness and drying every tear. A golden ray of light where the brand new days begin. Oh, open up the window, let it shine. Everything is gonna be alright. Yeah. Puddles on the pavement reflect the view. The world is waking up, painted in a different hue. Birds are singing out a sweet melody. Stepping out the door, I'm feeling so free. No more hiding under a giant umbrella. Today I can hear the rhythm of a brighter way. The damp air is fading into the past. I knew this darkness wasn't going to last. Catch the breeze running through my hair. There is a magic floating everywhere. The first sunny hour is finally here, melting the coldness and drying every tear. A golden ray of light is kissing my skin. This is where the brand new days begin. Oh, open up the window, let it shine. Everything is gonna be alright. Stretching so wide, no more heavy weights remaining inside. The storm has taught me how to appreciate the glow. It's time to let the happiness flow. The first sunny hour is finally here, melting the coldness and drying every tear. A golden ray of light is kissing my skin. This is where the brand new days begin. Oh, open up the window, let it shine. Everything is gonna be peaceful smile lighting up my face. Some from the earlier years and watch their face try to compute through the years of who they remember standing in my place. A different posture and a different face. Not worse, not better, just arrived somewhere that couldn't have been reached from over there where I was standing when they knew me last. Not who I was, it's not a judgment of the past. She did what she could with what she had. I don't look back at her as something bad, just someone on the road who handed me everything I needed to be free. Not who I was, and that's the kindest thing. Not who I was, and listen to what that brings. A spaciousness inside the word, not anymore. Not who I was has opened every door. I used to mourn the self I thought I lost. Not who I was worth the cost of every year that shaped this new world ground. Not who I was is who I finally found.
I don't react the same to the same things. Words that used to cut have lost their stings. The rooms that made me small now just feel wrong.
I leave them now and don't take very long to notice that I notice and I go toward the better without needing to know every reason why I've changed this much. Now who was is such a lighter touch. Growth doesn't always feel like something gained. feels like nothing can be explained. And then one day you're standing in the proof. Not who I was is living in the truth. Not who I was, and that's the kindest thing. Not who I was, and listen to what that brings. And that's badness inside the word. Not anymore. Not who I was has opened every door. I used to mourn the self I thought I lost. Not who I was, worth the cost. Of every year that shaped this newer ground. Not who I was is who I finally found. I owe her nothing but my gratitude. The one who got me through the harder mood of years that asked too much and gave too little. Not who I was, but she was in the middle. Not who I was, and that's the kindest thing. Not who I was, and listen to what that brings. Some spaciousness inside the word, not anymore. Not who I was has opened every door. I used to mourn the self I thought I lost. Not who I was, worth the cost. Of every year that shaped this newer ground. Not who I was is who I finally found. So when they look at me and try to play the person that they knew inside my face, I smile and let the recognition pass. Not who I was is here at last. The person in the photograph still smiles, but I've been traveling such different miles since that was taken and the face is mine. But something past the surface is a sign that what I'm looking at and who I am have grown too far apart to diagram on any map that used to show my range. Unrecognizable, and it's not strange. I used to think that changing meant I lost the thread of who I was at any cost. But looking in the mirror now I see unrecognizable is finally free. Unrecognizable to the ones who knew the careful, quiet version I once drew over myself in rooms that asked me to be small. Unrecognizable, and I stand tall. The voice is different and the walk has changed. The things I'll tolerate have been rearranged. Unrecognizable, and I am glad. Unrecognizable is the best I've had.
My oldest friend said, what happened to you? I laughed and said I finally broke through the ceiling I had built above my head to keep myself from wanting what I said I couldn't have, and maybe wasn't for
someone like me. But now I've opened more doors than I knew existed in the wall. Unrecognizable and standing tall. Some transformations happen slow, and then all at once you look up and it's when you realize you cannot find the seam between the life you have and what you dream. Unrecognizable to the ones who knew the careful, quiet version I once drew of myself in rooms that asked me to be small. Unrecognizable, and I stand tall. The voice is different and the walk has changed. The things I'll tolerate have been rearranged. Unrecognizable, and I am glad. Unrecognizable is the best I've had. knows herself, and that is quite enough. Unrecognizable in more than time. Unrecognizable to the ones who knew the careful, quiet version I once drew of myself in rooms that asked me to be small. Unrecognizable, and I stand tall. The voice is different and the walk has changed. The things I'll tolerate have been rearranged. Unrecognizable, and I am glad. Unrecognizable is the best I've had. So let them look and let them try to place the old coordinates inside my face. Unrecognizable is not a loss. Unrecognizable is worth the cost of every single thing it took to get to someone I haven't let regret. I knew every line before the meeting started. Could play enthusiasm, broken hearted, into caring about the quarterly review. While something deep inside me always knew this wasn't mine, this role was never cast. For me it was a costume that would last only as long as I forgot to ask if I could take it off and drop the mask. Yeah. The applause was never real and neither was the version of me showing up because it paid the rent and kept the peace and fit the shape of what they need and not the fit of what I needed. With the performance, take the makeup off. With the performance, even if it costs the safety of the known, a certain floor. Quit the performance, there has to be more than playing someone else's version of a life that never held the things I love. Quit the performance, walk off the stage. Quit the performance, turn to a different page.
I rehearsed the resignation in my head for longer than I'd care to admit. Instead of just walking through the door and saying so, something kept me in the show.
The fear of what came after and before, the curtain of a life I hadn't stored, experiencing yet the blank and white was something true, but terrifying inside.
But every morning getting in a character was costing me something particular,
a piece of something I couldn't afford to lose. Quit the performance was the only news. With the performance, take the makeup off. With the performance, even if it costs the safety of the known, a certain floor. Quit the performance, there has to be more than playing someone else's version of a life that never held the things I love. Quit the performance, walk off the stage. Quit the performance, turn to a different page. The role was never written for this voice. Quit the performance was always the choice, waiting underneath the lines I'd learned. Quit the performance, the only thing I'd earned. Quit the performance, take the makeup off. Quit the performance, even if it costs the safety of the known, a certain floor. Quit the performance, there has to be more than playing someone else's version of a life that never held the things I love. Quit the performance, walk off the stage. Quit the performance, turn to a different page. So I handed back the script and walked away into into the unwritten, unrehearsed day of being no one's version but my own. Quit the performance, finally come home. The moving truck pulled out and left me here with nothing on the walls and nothing near. The floor showed every mark the furniture had made, the outlines of a life that hadn't stayed. I walked from room to room in the bare light and heard my footsteps echo in the white of empty walls that hadn't learned me yet, an empty room I hadn't met. I thought I'd feel the loss more than I did. Instead I found the thing the clutter hid, a spaciousness that breathing hadn't known, an empty room that finally felt like home. 何もない部屋だけど思いは溢れる standing in the clear, empty room full of heart. Everything is here, just not the kind that furniture can hold. Empty room full of heart, something new and bold is filling up the space the old things left. Empty room full of heart, nothing here is left, just making room for what belongs. Empty room full of heart is where I'm strong.
I sat cross-legged on the naked floor, yeah, and felt more like myself than years before. When every surface held a memory or two of someone else's taste or someone's view of what my life should look like from outside.
This empty room had nowhere left to hide, the version of me waiting to be known. Empty room full of heart, I'm finally home.
Some fullness only comes when things are gone, when the noise clears and the quiet carries on into something truer than before.
An empty room can hold so much more. 何もない部屋だけど思いは溢れる standing in the clear, empty room full of heart. Everything is here, just not the kind that furniture can hold. Empty room full of heart, something new and bold is filling up the space the old things left. Empty room full of heart, nothing here is left, just the making room for what belongs. Empty room full of heart is where I'm strong.
Pressed my hand against the empty wall and felt the possibility of all the things this room had never held before.
何もない部屋だけど思いは溢れる standing in the clear, empty room full of heart. Everything is here, just not the kind that furniture can hold. Empty room full of heart, something new and bold is filling up the space the old things left. Empty room full of heart, nothing here is left, just the making room for what belongs. Empty room full of heart is where I'm strong.
So I sleep here on the floor tonight, beneath the naked ceiling bare and bright, and wake up to